Welcome in the course, and first of all, thank you. You have made the right decision. My name is Arnie, and in this course you learn everything about automations, AI automations, and also AI agents. Especially with the tool N8N, but we also use some more. The course is big, and that's why I want to start with a course overview. Here on the right side you see the content. And in the next lecture I want to give you a few tips, and then you learn how to use the links from this course. In section 2 we start with the basics. So what are automations, AI automations and AI agents? What's an API? Because we use a lot of APIs over this course. Then I want to give you an overview of the tools that can create automations and agents like N8N, Make, Zapier, LangChain, Flowise and so on. We need to understand what is an LLM because the LLM is the brain of our automations. I want to show you the OpenAI API, how the tokens are priced, how to set up projects and what's important for compliance. I want to talk briefly about test time compute and when you should use these reasoning models in your agents. Next you need to understand what's function calling, because our agents can use tools, and you need to grasp vector databases and embeddings models, because for the RAG technology this is important. If you already know all of these basics, you can also skip this section and start with section 3, but I would really strongly recommend you that you understand this. In section 3 we make it practical. We start to use the tool N8N. First I want to show you the local installation of N8N, how to manage your node versions, how to update your local instance, how you can test N8N for free, also in the cloud, and then we will build our first automation. And every time as soon as you see resources you get the JSON format as download, so you can basically press on it, download it and import it in your own instance. And I will show you how to do that in this video. Then we go on with our next easy automation. We will store Airtable data locally. And then I want to show you how you can connect Google Sheets with the Google Cloud Platform. In section 4 we start to expand our automations. We want to make AI automations. First we start with an easy email automation with Gmail and Airtable. Then we want to make a sentiment analysis with an LLM. I want to show you how you can use open source LLMs like DeepSeek, R1, Llama, Mistral and so on, and how you can integrate any LLM into N8N with an API. In section 5 we start to build agents and RAG applications. I want to show you how you can absorb data into a vector database but completely automatical with a Google Drive trigger. Then we will build out our RAG chatbot that has access to this vector database. Next we build an email agent that has sub workflows and a vector database and also Google Sheets. Then the fastest way to build an email agent, how you can automatically summarize all your emails at 7 AM. And how you can filter and auto-reply to your emails. Section 6 is a quick one. We talk about prompt engineering for AI agents and automations. It's mostly the system prompt, and you will also get my GPT to download and a lot of prompts. In section 7 it starts to get really interesting. We need to host our applications and we also build agents with WhatsApp and Telegram. I want to show you all the options that you have for hosting. You can self-host on Render, but you have a lot more. How you can integrate AI agents and automations into WhatsApp. Of course I give you the code snippets and the dynamic expressions. How you can use AI agents and sub-workflows with the Telegram trigger node. Then we will build a bigger Telegram agent that can automate emails, calendars, that can use voice and a lot more. And next we need to push the boundaries. We built a really big agent that can talk with a lot of sub-workflows and that will also make some jokes. After that a lot of practical examples for social media, scraping, crawling and more. And lastly my best tips to build really great prompts for AI agents. In section 8 we need to talk about debugging, webhooks and the HTTP request node. We will build an error trigger workflow so that you can debug all your workflows immediately. You need to see if your workflows fail. Then I want to show you how we can use Flowise and connect it with N8N via a webhook. You just need a little bit of JavaScript, but I promise it's easy. And of course you can simply copy my code. And lastly I want to give you one more example of webhooks and the HTTP request node. In section 9 we start to build a business out of these AI agents. I want to show you how you can embed these things into web pages and how you can sell all of this. First we take a look at what we can actually sell. Then we will build a market-ready RAG application that can also gather leads. I want to show you how you can host this RAG application as a standalone app. Then of course how you can integrate this reg application into websites and also how you can make custom CSS branding for your clients. I want to give you a lot of cool tips how you can sell these automations for marketing, offers, pricing, sales and a lot more. And I want to show you how you can scrape a lot of leads with a software that is really fast. In section 10 we talk about optimizing your reg application. We need to talk about data quality, chunk size, overlap and embeddings models. And I want to give you a lot of tips. I want to show you how you can scrape HTML web pages and convert this of course into Markdown. This also works for PDFs. Because if your data is not good, also your reg application will not be good. I want to show you how you can use Llama Index with Llama Bars for data preparation for PDFs, CSVs and a lot more. And we go into more detail with chunk size and chunk overlap, because your embeddings models need to work the correct way. And lastly, a small recap. And don't worry if you don't understand some of these words, this will make sense over the course. I explain everything. In section 11 we need to talk about problems, compliance and security. Jailbreaks, prompt injections and data poisoning are problems and you should be aware of them. We need to talk about copyrights and intellectual property, privacy and data protection for you, but also for your clients. We talk about censorship, alignment and bias in LLMs and how you can solve this with dolphin models. We take a closer look at the license of n8n. So are you allowed to sell agents or are you even allowed to sell the code base from n8n? Then a little bit more about compliance, the GDPR, CCPA, CPRA and the EU AI Act. And then some detailed articles, and if you want to read them, feel free to do this. By the way, Udemy will ask you relatively quickly for a review. I cannot influence that, but I would really appreciate a 5-star review. And in the last section I want to tell you what's next. And I also want to tell you a big thank you, just like right now, because you give me your most valuable asset, your time. Everybody on this earth has just limited time and you decided to spend your precious time with me. So thank you for that and I see you of course in the next video.